Hi, air signs. My name is Michelle Kelly. Welcome to This Is Your Sign. This is your January 2022 reading for all the Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. If you've already subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed yet, please like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Every time I do a video, I forgot to put my earbuds in because it has like a microphone in it. Every time I do a video, which is every Saturday, if you go into subscriptions, you'll see that I put out a video. And if there are 5 Saturdays in the month, I take the 4th Saturday off, just so you know. So all of the air signs, let's get into your reading. The first card is Higher Power. The next one is Never Ending Story, and it's upside down. Higher Power is upside down, and why is upside down? So you guys, this whole reading is about removing your ego. And this is all about, did you ever hear the expression, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? And so, you know, for my whole life, I always thought, when I am right, I am happy. And when you're wrong, I'm going to let you know. I'm going to point it out, and I'm going to show you how you were wrong. And a lot of times what happens when you are in that process is you are missing, I don't want to say missing, because this is part of the process. Like, we all have to go through this stuff, but it's like your higher power is there for you, but right now you're trying to play God. And this is kind of like getting out of your own way, which is extremely hard and difficult. And the never-ending story, like, this is about a relationship, and this is about, you know, you keep obsessing and going over and over and over in your head. And part of it is, I think you're beating the shit out of yourself of, why didn't you see this sooner? Or why didn't you do it differently? Or why didn't you... It's like all about, this situation was not good for either one of you. And whether the other person stopped it first, it doesn't matter. I know it doesn't feel like they did you a favor. They did you a favor. I know right now it might be like, fuck you. You're lucky I stayed with you this long. I can't believe after all I did for you. That is part of your ego. And what that is that is there to protect you. But you don't need it to protect you anymore. This relationship was here to bust you wide open, to rip your scab, not just your Band-Aid off. It took your scab with the Band-Aid, and you are like bleeding. So where you need to go when you're bleeding is to people who are going to help you address and clean up your wound, help you sort it out, help you figure out why you let this person be your Band-Aid to begin with. And you know what? We all pick people to help us heal, whether we know it or not. And a lot of times the people that we pick to help us heal, it might feel like an attraction at first, but it's like, I don't know if you've ever heard the word before, trauma bonding. And it's almost like we're attracted to people who have the missing parts of us, or we think they have the missing parts of us. And it's like you come together like this, but eventually you're like this, that you repel each other. Because really, either way, you can't get what you don't have from somebody else. And no matter how much you try, they can't give it to you, and vice versa. So this was not a healthy union for either one of you. But this is about money and obsession and ego and sickness. When you are operating out of your ego, you are feeding sickness and not wellness. So this is saying this situation was here to get you to go towards your wellness. And I think you're still in the stage of like, fuck you to your person because you're hurt. And when you're hurt, you want the other person to hurt as much as you do. And this other person might be distracted by something else right now, and you're hurting and they're not, or it feels like you're hurting more than them. You guys, it is not your job to decide when somebody feels pain or doesn't feel pain. And trying to inflict it on them, it doesn't work. Trust me. How do I know? Michelle, how do you know this? I did it. I wanted, when I left my son's father many years ago, he rejected me all of the time. And when I left him, this is how unhealed this Scorpio was. When I left him, I never hoped he died. I wished he lived as a quadriplegic who couldn't do anything, who needed people to do everything for him. And then I hoped the people wouldn't do it for him. Like, I hated this man. And part of what I hated about him really is I hated myself. And I wanted him to hurt as much as I was hurting. But he couldn't and he didn't, because it wasn't my place to decide when he was meant to hurt, how he was meant to hurt, but I thought it was, and I wanted to help God with that. But as time went on, time heals all wounds. And when you're in it and it's fresh, it doesn't feel like it's ever going to get better. It doesn't feel like it's going to pass. It doesn't feel like, it might feel like this person is living the life you never got to live. Not true. Somebody else cannot get what you didn't. The other person doesn't have it to give. With that being said, if it wasn't enough for you, and that's okay that it wasn't, it doesn't mean there's something wrong with you because you want more. You're allowed to want more, and you're allowed to have more. And the divine wants that for you, by the way. But what this person has to offer might be enough for the next person. So if you can look at it this way, as the next person is where you used to be, and you're not there anymore. So I know when you're in it, you're like, bullshit, she's going to get what I didn't. Nuh-uh, they can't get it. They don't have it to give to you. So unless they do counseling, therapy, go into treatment, and work at it every single day, the chances of them healing and giving to somebody else what you didn't get are very slim to none. However, maybe you were meant to take this person's Band-Aid off so they could go get that, so they could do that. I want to share with you guys an experience that I had, because I have healed a lot about myself, and you don't just keep going to get a different person hoping they're different. You will attract what you haven't healed yet, and you will keep attracting that until you figure out why you attracted that in the first place. What made you be drawn to the person? If you were with somebody and you couldn't speak up for yourself, and then you just go get a new person, chances are, if you couldn't speak up for yourself to the first person, you're not going to be able to speak up to the next person, because you didn't learn how to speak up, period. So unless you go and find out why you don't speak up, the same thing is going to keep happening over and over again. It's not the other person is the asshole. You're the person who picked the asshole. So if you're the person who picked the asshole, you better go back and figure out why you picked the asshole so you don't pick another one. So blaming everything on somebody else, we all need to do this. We do, until we're ready to look at ourselves. I think this person was here to help you start looking at yourself. Whether this person is ever able to look at themselves, none of your business. Are you going to try? Probably, but maybe you won't do it for as long as I did. Now, the person that I was so devastated about that I hoped he lived as a quadriplegic with no one to help him, I now have healed so much that I say thank you. Thank you for doing everything that you did, because he made space for somebody else better to come into my life, to come into my son's life. At the time, did it feel like that? Hell to the no. It was the worst, most painful rejection I ever felt. And actually, he wasn't just rejecting me, he was rejecting our son. And because I had such a hard time, I felt my son's feelings. So I was feeling my rejection feelings and my son's rejection feelings, and going after him. And guess what? Whatever his life is like, none of my business. But guess what? My life is pretty good. And that's all that matters. What has happened to me as a result of it. So this is God, the divine, your higher power, letting you know that you need to focus on yourself and not worry about what everybody else is doing. However, it's a good deflection and it keeps you out of yourself. But it is now time to look at yourself. The 9 of spring, it says, protect the fruits of your labor. Prepare for possible challenges that lie ahead. Environmental conservation. So this is all about protecting yourself and taking care of yourself. So this could be part of the divorce process. Prepare for the possible changes that lie ahead. You are allowed to protect yourself. You're allowed to take care of yourself. You don't have to guard yourself like Fort Knox anymore. 3 of spring says, plan your next steps with an eye to the long term. Have patience. There are more good things to come. Satisfaction from a job well done. So you guys, part of being a planner, taking care of yourself, you need to plan ahead for the future. But good things are coming your way. Your life isn't over. It is beginning again, and you've been given a gift. So satisfaction for a job well done. And it says, Queen of Spring, brilliant, talented, loyal, friendly. Believe in yourself. Wonderful people want to help you. Maintain a balance between work and home life. So you guys, it sounds like you might go from all one way to all work, all home. And this is about bringing them together and trying to have a balance and not overdoing it. But I think part of you is overdoing it right now because you're scared of what is about to come. But it says wonderful people want to help you. And I think it's really hard for you to believe and trust that people are really there for you and really, really want to help you, because maybe you've protected yourself for so long you don't believe that good people are out there, or it was hard for you to open your heart to this. But part of getting this Band-Aid ripped off of you was so you could start believing all this. And it says indecision. I use my intuition in all aspects of my life. So indecision, not make it a decision is a decision. So it says you can trust yourself. Your body gives you signs and signals before it can come out of your mouth. So how do you know when you're doing the right thing? Usually when you do the right thing, you feel lighter, you feel freer, you feel happier. When you are doing things that are not right for you, your body comes in it feels heavy. You lean forward, you second guess yourself, you second guess the person. You might get headaches, you might get stomach aches, you might get autoimmune disease, you might have panic attacks. You feel it in your body and you keep going over it and over it and over it in your mind when it's not right for you. When it's right for you, you drop that shit. So when things aren't right for you, you don't keep going over it and over it and over it in your head and twisting it in every different direction, just so you know. And the next card is change, and it says, I understand nothing can grow or evolve without movement. So maybe right now you are in the changing process and maybe you're going like a turtle, like really slow. But you guys are growing and evolving and changing as a result of this. This is a gift. I know you can see positive changes that are happening for you as this is happening. And the next one says guilt. I release any beliefs that no longer assist my soul's growth. I release any beliefs that no longer assist my soul's growth. So you guys, maybe you have guilt about how you handled things in the past or how you haven't handled things in the past. And a lot of times with guilt, it is generational. It is passed down, it is passed down, it is passed down. Now, you can feel guilty and still take care of yourself. That'll dissipate in time. Staying with somebody because you felt guilty, staying with somebody because you felt like you owed them, because they did certain things for you. Just remember, would you ever want someone to stay with you because they felt sorry for you or because they felt bad for you? Would you want somebody to really stay with you because they felt sorry for you or they felt bad for you? I know you wouldn't want that. And so vice versa. You're not doing somebody a favor by staying with them if you don't like them or love them or you feel sorry for them. And you are actually not just blocking your soul's growth, you are blocking their soul's growth. So a lot of times what happens is we're fine with hurting ourselves, which is so fucked up. I don't know why this is okay for us, but it should not be. But once you find out I'm hurting the other person by staying in or by doing things that aren't right for me, once you realize you're hurting somebody else, you're like, God, I don't want to hurt somebody else. But the divine doesn't want you to harm or hurt yourself either. And that was happening in this relationship. So this is your sign signing off for the month of January. Your ego is being removed, air signs, and I know it is painful and I know it feels like being naked, but the world needs to see your heart, and you guys are beautiful and you're meant to shine your light. So thank you so much for watching. This is your sign signing off. Take care, and I will see you guys soon.